Barry, officers say a canine search is happening as we speak.
And those bulldozers were pushing debris in these power lines. Power lines were flying everywhere. Debris was being pushed down the road. They were trying to clear it so they could make way for the first responders to get down here, because this whole road was blocked off. There was no getting in or out for anyone until those bulldozers got here. I'm here with Governor Mike Parson. He just got to the scene, at least for the first time that I have seen. Is this your first time assessing this damage, at least here on Ellis Boulevard?
It is.
What importance does your administration place on the U.S. Senate race between Hawley and McCaskill?
Well, I'm just a big fan of Josh Hawley. I know him. I've seen him. He loves the people of the state.
We have live team coverage as floodwaters continue to rise across mid-Missouri tonight. Thanks for choosing us at 6. I'm Ashley Strohmier.
You can imagine, what they went through when they came here and saw that not one car on this lot wasn't damaged.
Breaking news on ABC 17 News at 5:30 minutes ago. Governor Mike Parson activated the Missouri National Guard to help fight flooding across the state.
This is the road that runs right along Highway 50 and the opposite end on Broadway, which goes up into Jefferson City toward the Capitol. That is also closed off because that road is flooded as well. You can kind of start to see as we make our way up toward Riley Chevrolet. It's a lot more busy now than what it was at 3:30. when I talked to some of the guys who work there.
Headed downstream, Boone County is also experiencing major flooding in parts. Breaking news on ABC 17 News at 6. We have confirmed in the last half hour a person is dead after a crash southeast of Columbia.
And I'm Ashley Strohmier, live at the Capitol in Jefferson City. Joey, 94 bills were passed today, but House Bill 126, the anti-abortion bill, has many conservatives celebrating tonight, but it also has many Democrats seething.
An ABC 17 Storm Track Weather Alert Day will begin in just a few hours, and severe weather is moving through our area. Thanks for choosing us. I'm Ashley Strohmier. With more on what we can expect this weekend, we're going to send things over to ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Sharon Ray. Sharon, it's going to be dry, but much colder than it was this past weekend, especially yesterday.
Everything's just a mess, a complete mess. And you got to really watch where you're standing, because you've got things like this sticking up everywhere.
Columbia's police chief is on paid leave tonight, but the city isn't saying why. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ashley Strohmier.
Joey, this is the first time I've worn shorts reporting or coming to work with my hair pulled up, but it is necessary today. Going back on what Sharon said, I'm ready for that warm weather. At least my toes are right now.
Since the mid-'80s, the number of volunteer firefighters dropped 11%. Now the dwindling number is affecting mid-Missouri. Tonight, I'm finding out how the drop in volunteer firefighters is affecting not only response times, but your community. New at 6:30, a Booneville man was charged on multiple counts after allegedly beating his roommate with a bat. 41-year-old Aaron Lacey was taken into custody yesterday. This after officers got reports of domestic assault.
Take a look at what this storm did. You can see that it has twisted up and mangled these brand new vehicles.
The city of Columbia is discussing some major changes it wants to see after reviewing the current state of the city.
These were the case loaders and the bulldozers I was talking about earlier. They had those loaders pushing debris out of the way on Ellis Boulevard. And then also you might be able to see, as we're walking on this stretch, there will be MoDOT plow trucks that are plowing the sides, and they've been able to get some of the debris off of the road. This is actually his office.
My office right here, and which is no longer.
We're going to keep moving down. There's still a first responder presence down at the end of this, but you can see this gas station. Also, Jack, let's take a pan down. Look at this. This is what this whole area was covered with. These power lines were down all over the road. Across the street, you can see the power lines are down.
Governor Parson is looking for new ways to repair crumbling Missouri infrastructure. This after Missouri residents voted down a tax to help pay for repairs.
Ashley, do you have feeling back in your toes yet?
No, Joey, I absolutely do not. It's actually getting worse. And I will say, as far as a couple of inches, it's at least 3 inches of snow in Jefferson City right now. The visibility is essentially the same as I told you about 25 minutes ago. Yeah, guys, we are here near the Norton River access. We're actually on the bridge that goes over 54. I just want to point out right behind us, JCPD has blocked off the area to get to the Norton River access, as well as what was formerly known as Cedar City. It's a beautiful day today, but it's not going to be such a beautiful sight here in the next few hours. up to the next couple of days.
Jefferson City plans to resume trash service Tuesday and will service all streets that are in safe condition. If you have any plants or trees to dispose of from tornado cleanup, Capitol Quarry off Shamrock Road is open for vegetation drop-off.
They said it would be a year until the final investigation is finished regarding that tragedy that happened yesterday with a duck boat that capsized, killing 17 people.
With the recent freezing and wet weather, you might have noticed more potholes on mid-Missouri roads. ABC 17's Olivia Garling joins us live in Columbia tonight. Olivia, you looked into how drivers can report potholes to Public Works crews and MoDOT. Measles cases in the U.S. are approaching a 25-year high. This is not good. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say local health officials reported 60 more cases last week. That brings the U.S. to 940 cases across 26 states. The measles outbreak of 1994 saw 963 confirmed cases. New York added more measles cases than any other state last week. DNR sent me to Sunrise Beach's mayor. Mayor Mooney told me to call City Hall. I was then directed to Camden County. By the end of it, I had spoken to everyone from the clerk to the city engineer, and not one person could answer my question. Where are the 4-inch mains in Sunrise Beach? And are the homes in Port Acima and the rest of Sunrise Beach safe?
What importance does your administration place on the U.S. Senate race between Hawley and McCaskill?
Well, I'm just a big fan of Josh Hawley. I know him. I've seen him. He loves the people of the state. He wants everything to come back to the state, and he's done a fantastic job, and he's run a great campaign. And I can also tell you on the other side, Claire McCaskill has been a disaster for us. She never votes for us. She didn't vote for Justice Kavanaugh or Justice Gorsuch. She's the two great people, great intellects for the Supreme Court. She's just going against us, and it's very interesting. She's always against me on the border, except today she said he's right. First time I've heard this. I mean, she's always been fighting us on the border. She's been fighting the tax cuts very vociferously. She wants to raise taxes, and Josh Hawley is just going to be outstanding. So we hope people go out and vote for him. He'll do a fantastic job.
And Mr. President, what is the most critical issue facing the country right now and will be for the duration of your term in office?
Well, I think we have a lot of issues, but immigration, you see, that seems to have come up to the forefront. You see what's going on at the border with the caravan, as they call it, where thousands of people think they're going to march into the country, and it's not going to happen. We don't know who they are, where they come from. We don't know anything about them, and we're not going to let it happen. So immigration, certainly. And the other one is healthcare, to me, is very important. And we've done a great job. We got rid of the individual mandate, which was a killer. And that was really the worst part of anything in terms of health care. Nobody's ever seen anything like it, where you pay for the privilege of not having to pay for bad health care. So we've done a real job on health care. But I think right now, if you look, immigration is so important because we need borders. We have to have a country. Without borders, you don't have a country.
How are you doing,
Good.
Governor Parson? I've been out here since 11:45, so I'm here with Governor Mike Parson. He just got to the scene, at least for the first time that I've seen. Is this your first time assessing this damage, at least here on Ellis Boulevard?
It is. We're just kind of out this morning. Once we got daylight, we kind of see what the damages are. You know, last night we've been getting reports all night long, but this is the first time we've really been out to be able to see the damage and just the devastation that this caused up here last night.
And then I saw you talking to several members of Task Force 1. What's their take on all of this?
Yeah, you know, we're just so thankful to have Task Force 1 here and the people on the ground and what they're doing, you know, and you seen last night, you know, things did work well last night, all the way through the emergency management side of it to the public safety side of it, and just so many people were involved, and we were so fortunate we didn't have more serious injuries than we have, and thank goodness we had no fatalities. So apparently the system worked last night, but still a lot of work to do today and the days to come.
And when you say a lot of work to do, are you talking about with tweaks to the system by chance, if there's anything that you could make better for next time? Hopefully there would not be a next time.
You know what? I think people responded real well last night. I think the warnings got out early.
Barry, officers say a canine search is happening as we speak. All right, Barry, thanks so much. And major flooding along the Missouri River does not look like it's going to let up anytime soon. ABC 17 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Jessica Quick is tracking the chance for mid-Missouri to see several inches of rain during the next 7 days. I feel like that might be a mistake, but it's not. Hundreds of people have had to leave their homes in Howard County due to rising floodwaters. ABC 17's Jasmine Ramirez has been checking in with local shelters and joins us live at Columbia College. Jasmine, the college opened its dorms to shelter people.
ABC 17 News.
All right, Jasmine, thank you. Tonight, more than 200 people in Howard County alone are displaced because of floodwaters. The mayor of New Franklin told us today several homes in the low-lying areas of New Franklin and Franklin have been evacuated. The city is directing those displaced to the Red Cross shelter in Boonville, or he said several hotels in the area are offering discounted rooms for those individuals. More than 350 roads are closed across the state of Missouri due to flooding tonight. Roughly 60 roads are closed in central Missouri. This does include the Missouri River Bridge on Highway 40 north of Boonville due to floodwaters. You can find a list of those closures by checking out the MoDOT Traveler map. Flooding and storm damage are creating a perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes in Missouri. The Joplin Globe says the state health department issued a warning about the potentially disease-carrying insect. Volunteers near Joplin have used hundreds of cans of repellent and are asking for more to be donated. This recovery workers have some measure of protection. Floodwaters along the Missouri River are forcing some leaving Missouri and living there to leave their homes in Kansas City. Water breached levees designed to protect Levacy Saturday. The town is about 35 miles northeast of Kansas City. The city says it is working with crews to let people back into their town to get their things. State lawmakers are hoping for federal funding to help that city. Of course, the networks of Mid-Missouri are working with charities to help flooding and tornado recovery efforts. Now, you can donate or even volunteer with groups like the American Red Cross or the Salvation Army by going to our website. That's abc17news.com. We posted the Mid-Missouri Disaster Relief link at the top of your homepage. That's where you can find more information on how you can help. A new federal indictment revealed new information about a marijuana conspiracy in Colombia. ABC 17's Lucas Geisler took an in-depth look at the court documents. He joins us live in studio tonight. And Lucas, 3 more people have been charged in the conspiracy. Lucas Geisler, thank you. Giannis and his son have both pleaded guilty to drug distribution charges. No date yet has been set for their sentences. ABC 17 dug through crash data for downtown Columbia today. We found there have been roughly 320 crashes in the last 5 years. Now, crashes involving property damage were the most frequent. One of them was fatal, and that was the one involving Katie Paul. She was a Jefferson City teacher killed Saturday morning. This happened after a car hit her and another woman near 8th and Ash Streets. In the last 10 minutes, the Columbia City Council made some changes to rules for medical marijuana facilities in the city. Facilities cannot set up within 500 feet of a school or religious building. The council will also allow dispensaries to set up on the ground floor of downtown buildings. The state of Missouri will begin giving out applications for those businesses tomorrow. GoComo's new fixed route system started today. The buses now run on 45-minute frequencies to different areas of town on what's called a hub and spoke system. They say the city's new routes could save the system an estimated $750,000 each year. A Jefferson City man's death is raising some questions. This comes after an obituary cited last month's tornado as the cause. Now, we told you 61-year-old John Freeman went to the Capital Region Medical Center after the destructive storm. 4 days later, he was pronounced dead. Cole County EMS and Jefferson City Police say there is no reason to believe the storm caused the man's death. We spoke with a close relative of Freeman who said he suffered a broken leg in the storm and died from a complication in surgery. We are working to learn more from the Cole County Medical Examiner and the man's death certificate.